welcome to All Around Annapolis. I'm your host, Rhonda Wardlaw. The Housing Authority of the City of Annapolis, better known as HACA, will be providing valuable information to its residents on home ownership, employment, job skill development, and civic opportunities. A day-long conference is planned for Saturday, November 5th from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon at the Pip Moyer Recreation Center. Joining me now with more information on the Pathways to Opportunities, Family Enhancement, and Resident Leaders Conference is HACA's Executive Director, Vince Leggett. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you, Ron. It's a very exciting time at the Housing Authority. We are pulling together a wide variety of resources targeted toward our residents that live in our communities,
Yes.
Our family and our senior and elderly communities, just looking at how we can improve the quality of life for those that we have responsibility to. And it's a opportunity that we have, and we're doing it in collaboration with the City of Annapolis, the Mayor and Council. We're also working with the Board of Education, the Annapolis and Anne Arundel County Partnership for Children, Youth, and Families, Habitat for Humanity. So we're really pulling on a variety of resources to make opportunities available for our residents.
Well, let's talk about someone coming to the conference. What could they expect? They get there at 9 in the morning, and kind of walk me through all of the different opportunities.
Well, one of the things is we're going to have a resource fair. There are going to be 10 to 15 resources stationed in tables around the gymnasium at the Pip Moyer Center, where if you want to find out about educational opportunities, scholarship, assistance, not only for yourself, but for your children. And so we have a number of organizations, fraternities, sororities, community-based, civic-based groups with information about educational assistance.
Wow.
Another thing that we'll have is, again, if you're looking for parenting opportunities, this is really something that's very important to family self-sufficiency. What can parents do to be more effective? And so we'll be drawing from the Anne Arundel County Family Support System that the County Department of Social Services utilized. The Community Action Agency, new executive director, has a strong background on parenting. The public schools, the Board of Education, so it'll be information on parenting. Also, jobs, training, and skills. We are reached out to Anne Arundel Community College, their workforce development, and they'll have information about job training and skills development, how to write a resume, how to dress for success. And so in addition to workshops, there'll also be resources. And so when the cabs and buses and cars pull up at 9 o'clock that Saturday morning, there'll be a registration. We really want to try to get people registered, give them an orientation of what the day looks like. And then there'll be kind of this resource fair that will go for about an hour from 9 to 10. And then around 10 o'clock, we'll call everybody to order. We'll have officials from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, we call HUD, that will be bringing some announcements and information from the Baltimore office, their Washington, D.C. office, and we'll talk about the importance of developing family self-sufficiency models. There'll be some greetings from elected officials, public officials. But one of the things is the conference is targeted toward residents and resident leaders. And so each one of our community has a resident council. They have presidents and other officers. And so all during the day, we'll be integrating residents into all of the activities.
Well, and you had said earlier the fact of the empowerment that can occur through something like this. Let's talk a little bit about that as far as the demographic and how the leaders of these groups become role models.
Yes. One of the things that we've been doing working with the city is working with Kirby McKinney and others who have actually been going through almost a 4 to 5 month, 8 month training program for our resident leaders, how to conduct meetings, how to engage your residents, how to use Robert's Rules of Order, how to take minutes, how to keep budgets and records. So they've been going through this training module, and so this Saturday is going to be kind of a showcasing for the training that the residents have been receiving. And the idea is have one teach one. And so it's through modeling the behavior that we're really trying to empower the residents.
Have
so that's
one teach one. I love that. Very nice. Let's say someone's watching you and I have this conversation right now and they really want to take part in it. Do they have to go the entire day?
No, what we're really trying to do is encourage people to stay with us during the entire day. We'll have this resource fair for an hour, and then we're going to have about 4 or 5 basic workshops. Financial literacy, how to be a homeowner, how to help navigate the school system, how to improve the quality of life for the elderly, the disabled. There's a diversity within our communities, and so we also will have a cultural competency. There's an increasing Latino and Hispanic community in the greater Annapolis area. Our agency is beginning to interact with that community even more and more. We're working with the Center from Hope and other organizations, and so we'll have information from that regard. And then the highlight for the day from about 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock is going to be a luncheon. There's something about people coming together around a meal. That's a part of our common humanity. But we'll also be recognizing our signature partners, the City of Annapolis, the Board of Education, Habitat for Humanity, showcasing resident leaders and people that have made a difference in the housing communities. So it's really going to be an exciting day.
But it's a time for interaction as well, while they're just sitting there in a gathering place.
Yes, it will be.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about transportation. Is that provided?
Transportation is provided and will be free. We are working with the City Department of Transportation. We're looking at our current bus routes. We're looking at seeing ways that we can have those routes be more responsive to the residents. But one thing at one of our meetings, one of our residents said, "Mr. Leggett, I'm going to bring 4 people with me."
Nice.
And I said, "Oh, isn't that beautiful?" Neighbor to neighbor care. And so between the public transportation, we are working with the Department of Aging that will have buses equipped for wheelchair lifts.
Fabulous.
We are encouraging people to ride their bicycles safely to the conference.
Yes.
We'll also be looking at churches that are making their vans available. And so we are really trying to eliminate barriers. And so transportation is one of the barriers that's been identified, and we have a comprehensive plan to get people to the conference all day.
Nice. I also want to really focus in on the target audience because anyone watching us, we really want them to know that this conference will continue to grow throughout the years, but the one that's scheduled for November 5th at the Pip Moyer Recreation Center from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon is really a targeted audience of the HACA residents. So can we break that down and just kind of tell everyone who's involved in that residency?
That I have a direct responsibility for 790 households under the direct responsibility of the Housing Authority. It's the Robinwood community on Forest Drive, Newtown 20 off of Forest Drive, the Morris Blum Senior High Rise over on Clay Street. We're also reaching out to Oldbury Court, College Creek Terrace, the newly renovated Annapolis Gardens off of Admiral Drive, Bloomsbury Square over near the state legislature, and our largest community is the Harbor House in Eastport Terrace. So our primary audience is to reach out to the heads of households and that family in those 7 communities. But in addition, we have almost 1,000 plus people on our various waiting lists. And the waiting lists are people who are eligible for assisted housing, subsidized housing. And so we're reaching out to that community as well, whether it's looking for Section 8 or housing choice. And in these cases, these are people that get a certificate or a voucher and can find housing in the private market, as well as those that are on the waiting list for our assisted housing. So we have a universe of about 3,000 people just in that group that we're reaching out to.
So I'm hearing registration is critical.
Registration, early registration, pre-registration.
And how would we do that? What's an emailer?
That our email would be Sharon Brown and Miranda Wingate. And in both cases, you can see their email addresses on the screen. In addition, calling our Housing Authority office, 410-267-8000, and just say I'm interested in the Pathways Conference. And again, it's 410-267-8000.
Outstanding. And then with the limited time we have left, childcare provided?
Childcare will be provided, and we're really targeting it for ages 4 through 10. We are working with the Anne Arundel County Coalition of Childcare.
Okay.
They'll be working with us along with our housing staff to provide accommodations. It will be safe for the kids. There will be a meal for the kids as well. But that will be free. The luncheon will be free. The whole day is free to the resident.
But you have to register. And again, the number?
410-267-8000, and just say Pathways to Opportunities Conference.
I love that. Thank you so much for taking time to be with
Thank
us
you.
today. And we want to remind everyone again, it's Saturday, November 5th from 9 in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon at the Pitt Moyer Recreation Center. Go ahead and call the number that you see on the screen. Make those reservations early so that you can take advantage of an amazing day that is just really there for the HACA residents. And I couldn't be prouder to have this interview and be a part of this organization. So thank you again for taking time.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching. This has been All Around Annapolis. I'm Rhonda Wardlaw.